Hey guys, I am with Stephen Bello, and I'm so excited because Stephen has got an amazing story, and he's just been recognized out of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of agents across the great United States as being the representative for broker agent advisor for this month for the great state of New York. So congratulations, Stephen.
Thank you so much, Jim. It's an honor to be here. I remember early on in my career when I'd see the magazine Broker Agent Advisor, and I'd see all these real estate agents being highlighted. I aspired to that.
Absolutely.
And here I am sitting, and I'm going to be one of the guys on the cover of the magazine. So how exciting is that?
It's a truly great honor. And you're in great company. There's been some amazing agents and brokers recognized over the last decades. But I want to talk, and just so the audience can kind of get to know your background, because you've got quite a story. So let's let everybody know, what did you do prior to real estate? Because you've got this amazing story.
Well, born and raised in food service,
okay.
3 generations of delicatessen owners. And early on, my dad says, if you're going to follow in the culinary profession, like the old school Italians always did, you're going to get an education. So he sent me to the best school in the country, Food America. I went there. And from there, I worked in a number of restaurants for the past 40 years and
Wow.
Very successful. I always believed education was critical to the success of any business. And what's amazing, Jim, is I took all of the mechanics of being an executive chef, being organized, being a communicator, motivating people, being empathetic, right? Getting them to come your way. And I've implemented that into my real estate business. And it's been amazing. I've had such a diverse amount of clients because, as you know, real estate can be happy, right?
Yeah.
People are getting married, they're starting their lives. It could be sad because there's been a death in the family, there's divorce. So it's a roller coaster.
Right.
And I truly believe in order to be successful in real estate's not about real estate, right? We all have the mechanics and the knowledge of how the process works. It's about people.
Right.
And caring for people. I'm not a one and done type of guy.
Yeah.
If you're my client for life. And I nurture those relationships. So just to rewind a little bit. So I worked in the profession for 40 years. I spent the last 30 years in healthcare. So I was a culinary administrator in a 429-bed healthcare facility. And for 4 years, I did both. So I'd go to work as an executive chef. I'd finish my day at 2 o'clock because it's healthcare. I would get changed into my real estate clothes. I would walk a mile to my car, and I'd get my car and I'd be like, okay. And I worked my way from Nassau County to Suffolk County. And I did that for a few years. Wow. And little by little, my business started really growing. So last September, on September 10th, I decided to retire as an executive chef and become a full-time realtor.
Let's talk about your business for a minute, because your business is booming. And what is it that you think you're bringing to the table? Because it's a competitive market. There's more agents now than there's ever been. And, you're out there competing with, tens of thousands of agents. How do you separate yourself? How do you define yourself more?
Well, my philosophy is go big or go home. So I don't do anything small scale. So with my listings, I go all out because my job is to promote that listing, not only in the local areas, but throughout the New York metropolitan area. So I go in with videographers and I narrate the videos where I'm walking through the home and I'm explaining the amenities. We're doing drone aerials of the different surrounding areas. And I send these videos to hundreds of brokers from Manhattan to Montauk out on the island. And before it even, hits the market where the agents are seeing it, these brokers already know about it. So my job is, hit it hard, social media and numerous platforms to really promote the sale of the home. Now, when the market was super hot, it wasn't that hard to sell, right?
Right.
But now you got to work double time.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have the 20, 30 offers on a property. Open houses don't have 100 people online.
Yeah.
You know, when I first got involved in real estate, I said to myself, you know, what am I bringing to the table? And my broker says to me, what you're bringing to the table is you're a communicator. You are meticulous and organized. You're personable. But most importantly, you're honest and trustworthy. That's what you bring to the table. Everything else you're going to learn.
Right.
And it's a philosophy that I've stayed true to. I'm not a hungry salesman. I'm about relationships. And it served me well. You know, I have a thing where quarterly, my clients, past clients and present, see me. I'm either at their house, I'm giving them a gift, they're in my CRM drip campaigns. I'm always top of mind. So when somebody says, you know, I want to sell my home, Stephen Bello comes to their mind. And I understand the value in that.
Stephen, is your business primarily what we call a database-driven business from your own like sphere of influence? Is that where most of your business is flowing from? Or are you doing other things to drive business into your funnel?
I do a lot of different things. Like if I'm in Holbrook, New York, out here on Long Island, born and raised in Holbrook, Suffolk County. And when you drive through Holbrook and Selden and the Centeridge areas, you see my billboards that are up. Because my name means something in those areas, because my grandfather and my father, they had a business there. So I initiate that and foster that. But my CRM is very important. I have my old culinary life. That's one part of it. And I have what I call a top 50 list. So those people are my ambassadors. They are selling for me and talking me up because they absolutely love me because of our relationships. So I make sure that I constantly nurture those relationships. And it helps when it comes to referrals. Absolutely.
How does that look? You mentioned you're doing an email newsletter. Are you doing calls and texts and, you know, the old, what we call pop buys, where you're dropping off gifts? Are you doing all that stuff? Is that part of your
I do
mix?
it all. Like that top 50, they hear from me once a month.
Okay.
My buyers or sellers that are currently working with me, you know, one of the things that kills deals, right?
Yeah.
Is non-communication. And they hear from me every day, even if there's no activity. They're going to hear from me. You know, this is what I'm doing. I'm not sitting on my hands. I'm working. I'm getting it out there. This is where the market is, because our job as agents is to educate the consumer, right?
Yes.
And it works for me.
And that's a big part of what I think the defining difference between a lot of agents that are not doing really well in this kind of market transition and the ones that are is the education piece. Are you bringing like market stats? What do you bring into the table to educate?
I do a little of both. You know, if you look at my platforms, and I hit all of them, and I hit them all daily. I actually have a coach that they keep me directed and they help me every day. My platforms are getting something educational, and then I add to it on a day-to-day basis the natural organic stuff, but keeping it real, right? And I even throw in some of my personal, because I want people to know who I am. So Jim, let's say, for example, you call up, you don't know me.
Yep.
You see a house that's listed, you want to know about the house. My job, the only thing I want to do is I want to get in front of you. I want to meet you wherever so that I can build the relationship. I hang up the phone. First thing that happens is you get my business card. You get my Linktree code that will navigate you to all my different platforms, my YouTube videos and so forth. And then a short video that tells you how I'm going to work for you. And I'm going to find you that perfect home or sell your listing, whatever it may be. And a lot of these things have been laid out ahead of time. I do an anniversary video, I do a birthday video, a welcome video. So as soon as the phone rings, these videos go out, and I keep it fresh.
I love it. Now you're talking about some tech that I think a lot of people that have been in the business 10 or 20 years haven't implemented, and you're coming into this business from a different area, but now you're just going kind of right out of the gate, kind of
Well,
running.
remember
Right?
something, Jim.
Yeah.
I'm not 18. I'm not 30, right?
Right.
I'm 64 young, and I feel like I'm 18, but
Right.
I wasn't brought up on all that technology. All that technology, I had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, my broker at Remax, he's big on that social media, getting your face out there.
Yeah.
I was never a stranger to the camera because as a chef, I always did videos and cooking classes, and I like the camera, right? And I've just taken it from one point and applied it to another. And let me tell you, people love that I'm a chef.
Oh, I bet.
Now, early on, my broker and we went back and forth because I needed to create a brand, right, for myself. I needed to create a logo. And look, I'm a retired chef, but I'm always going to be a chef because with chefs, it's a fraternal bond, right? Born a chef, die a chef. And my broker, we went back and forth very creatively. And he goes, I don't want people to think you're half in, right? And actually, I'm going to show you my logo. So it's Stephen Bello serving up Long Island real estate.
I love it. I love it.
And it works.
Yeah.
And my license plate's Chef Realtor.
I love it. Is that what's on the billboard, by the way? I'm just curious.
Yes.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Talk to me about because you mentioned you have a CRM. Is that the Remax platform or using an outside third party?
I have one on the Remax platform, but I also use Google for a lot of my CRMs. It's a little bit easier for me to navigate through. It doesn't really matter what the program is, as long as you're using it.
Right.
And I believe that you can't say my CRM's complete, I'm done with it. It's a work in progress.
Always.
As soon as I get a lead, boom, that name, that contact information's going into the CRM. And then I categorize it. Are they an A client, a B client, or a C client? And I learned early on in my career that you must stay on top of your clients.
Yeah.
Right? Or you lose them.
Fortunes in the follow-up, right?
Yeah. Big time, big time.
So let's talk about that. They talk about the now clients being, 25% of the people that call you are ready to do business now, but 75% are 6 to 9 months out. Are you incubating those people over that 6 to 9 months? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's important because they'll fall through the cracks.
Right. So are you doing that's when you're sending the videos and the email newsletters and that kind of thing?
Constant reminders.
Gotcha.
Hey, or it's a phone call. Just touch a base. How's the family after the holidays? Thinking of you. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to call me. And I'm the guy, right? Yeah. Because what I've created is, I call it my concierge service. I want to have a guy for everything. You move into a home, you need a mover, you need an attorney, you need a painter, you need a plumber, electrician, and so forth. I want to be the guy that you come to for that. I don't make any money for it, but it's a service. I'm adding value, right? Even when I was a chef, every day, what am I doing to add value? It's the same with real estate.
I love it. And that keeps you top of mind with all your clients. If they know they can call you for a gardener or call you for a pest guy, whatever, you're always the first person they think about. I love it.
See, success is really important, but what are you giving back?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's important to me because in my culinary career, I've met hundreds of young culinarians and I watched their careers blossom, right? And work up the ranks. And I want to do the same with real estate. Mentor people coming in. I was very fortunate. I got into the business later in life. I was with one company. I was not getting the mentorship that I thought I needed. And through where I was working at the hospital at Mount Sinai, they said, I know you got your license. You got to talk to Peter Grosso, who's the broker of Remax. I met Peter at the diner. We had an amazing conversation. He looked me in the eyes. He goes, I want you to come work for me. I said, I can't afford to work for you. So he trailed me for like 3 months, watched me on social media, picked up the phone, call me again. I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. And here I am 3 years later.
Yeah.
But he asked me, what do you need, Stephen? What do you need? I go, what I need is I need to be fast tracked. I need to know as much about real estate as fast as humanly possible. And when I tell you, he gave it to me, and he gave it to me good.
Mm-hmm.
Learned so much early on, and I'm still learning.
Well, and that's interesting because I think when somebody gets in that and it's their second career, often they're not in that learning mindset. And I think the learning mindset is how you grow your business way faster. Instead of the school of hard knocks, you're learning from other people who've already been through it, a few times. Not that you don't have some failures.
Look, I tell my wife all the time, Stephen Bello, I'm a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
I work every day to be a better husband, a better father, a better grandfather, a better real estate agent, a better human being. I don't stop learning. I want to continue to grow as a person. And that's my philosophy.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Now, when you, I just have to ask, because I would naturally think this, do you offer your clients to come in and do a housewarming party and you're the chef, or do you not do that?
The first thing they ask me is, they say, do we get a free meal when you buy a house?
I would think the same thing.
Absolutely. It wouldn't be a big deal. I've done it. I would do it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I love it.
My wife is in the craft. My wife is, she owns a company called Creative, the Custom Cottage Company, and it's personalized gifts.
Nice.
So she makes all of my gifts for my clients, and hundreds of other agents throughout Long Island as well, because they see what I deliver. And sometimes she says, Stephen, I really would like to get on the payroll. So it's a benefit. But,
it's a benefit.
We're always thinking of new things to create for gifts, something that has thought involved. And it's really cool that we both have that commonality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we were both in the food service, and now I'm in the real estate. She's got her license as well. It's important to have common ground.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let me ask you this: when you're competing, because we're competing a lot for listings, you come into a listing appointment, and they're going to choose you over the other agent or 2 or 3 other agents they've interviewed. What do you think is the reason why you're so successful? What are they buying into with you?
Preparation.
Mm-hmm.
Going in and really knowing your numbers, doing your comparables, knowing the market, knowing the area, knowing that specific home, and delivering what you say you're going to deliver. And the proof in that is by past history in your past sales.
Gotcha.
I'm a big review guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ask for the review after the transaction closed. What I do is I nurture the question every time there's a moment of gratitude. And there are many in real estate, to remind them that, I'm going to be looking for that review because it's important to build my business. I mean, you know how it goes, Jim, right? Especially the Google reviews, it keeps you at the top of the list.
Absolutely.
And I am very diligent with that. And those reviews mean a lot to me. The testimony of what I have delivered to my past clients. And I want my future clients to see that.
I think that's brilliant. The moments of gratitude. And you're right. There are many throughout the transaction where people will turn and thank you. And what an opportunity to ask for that. The way that they can thank you is by giving you a review at some point.
So we're in a market right now that has changed, right? Dramatically.
Right. Yeah.
And early on, because it's really kind of evolved, especially in New York, probably about 3-4 months when the interest rates they jumped up. They're kind of normal now, really. They weren't normal then.
Right.
But I rack my brains because you get many buyers, especially that say, it's not a good time to buy because the interest rates are high. That is such an inaccurate fact. Because if you do the math, right? And the first thing I ask them, Jim, is I go, which shopping experience do you think would be better? The old shopping experience or the present one? Who has an opportunity to change their monthly payment down the road? The person that had the 3.25 interest rate or the person that's hitting 7%.
Yeah, great
Who
point.
paid fair market value? So they just don't know. They just fixate on that one number. So as a realtor, we have to help navigate those people, not with talk, but with due diligence and facts.
I love that.
And all these little nuances help grow the machine.
Right. And it builds trust. I mean, ultimately, when they trust you, they're going to do business with you. And when you're real and honest and authentic, they appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Stephen, I know that you're going to continue to grow your business. And I just want to say again, congratulations again on this incredible award.
Thank you so much.
It's quite an honor. And I think that everybody's going to learn from this interview. You know, you're coming into this business and you are making this a second career, but you're applying the same principles, the same work ethic, the same kind of service and hospitality industry kind of mentality to your real estate business, and it's really showing through. So congratulations again.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being on the program.
It was my pleasure, Jim. Great talking to you.
Thank you.